He said, fish are the wrong people to ask about water. We are the wrong people to ask about consciousness. Because that's all we are actually. Shraddhasva tata shraddhasva, shraddhasva tata shraddhasva, natra moham kurushva bho, natra moham kurushva bho, jnana swarupo bhagavan, jnana swarupo bhagavan, atma tvam prakrite paraha, atma tvam prakrite paraha. Have faith, my son, have faith. Never confuse yourself in this. You are knowledge itself, you are the Lord, you are the self, and you are beyond nature. See, in Ashtavakra, almost every word, every phrase has to be unpacked. It's almost like the entirety of the Vedantic teaching has been packed into it. We are talking this morning with Maharaj that you can unpack. You can go on unpacking this. You'll see. First of all, he gives us some solid advice. Suppose all this appears too difficult. Either I don't get it, or I get it but I find it difficult to practice, or I find that it is not applicable in my life, or some problem is there with it. I don't feel that I am enlightened. And so Ashtavakra says, don't worry. Do one thing, one simple thing. Just believe it. You say, oh, again that belief. I thought I had left it all behind. I've come to non-duality. And not all that God, belief and worship and all. I've come to non-duality. Again you are telling me to believe. There's a story I heard in Vrindavan, which is the place of Krishna, of Sri Krishna. Now there was a monk who belonged to the school, devotional school of Vedanta, and he was very devoted to Sri Krishna. After several years, he decided to change tracks and come to non-dual Vedanta. So he came to this master, from whom we heard this story. He came to this master who was teaching non-dual Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, this stuff. And he says, the preliminary qualifications before you start. You remember? Viveka, Vairagya, the sixfold treasures, and then Mumukshutvam, intense desire to be free. And we are studying the sixfold treasures. Those are the disciplines which we must do. Shamaha, quietness of mind. Damaha, control of the senses. Then Uparati, withdrawal from too much involvement from the world. And then Samadhana, focus. Titiksha, a spiritual toughness, fortitude, putting up with all sorts of troubles to continue on your spiritual path undeterred. And then he said Shraddha, faith in what the teacher and the texts are saying. Then this monk said, wait a minute. In Hindi, I'll tell you what he said in Hindi. Arey mere Giridhar Gopal kya dosh kiye the? What fault does my beloved Krishna, Gopala have? There also we were told, have faith, believe in Krishna, believe in... Now again the same thing has come here. You're again saying faith. No, but faith has a great power. Here it's not that this book says so, you have to believe it and that's it. No, you will see for yourself. We will see for ourselves, no doubt about it. But a powerful aid until then, if my intellect says I don't get it, or if my whole being says that, yeah, it's all right, but I don't feel it to be true right now, then in that case, do one thing. Just believe it to be true. We believe so many things. We believe a lot of nonsense. Whole advertising industry is standing on that. So we believe a lot of nonsense about the world. Why not this simple thing? Ashtavakra is telling us, the Upanishads are telling us, the great mystics and masters, there are non-dual traditions not only in Hinduism, but in Judaism, in Christianity, in Islam, in Buddhism, in every spiritual tradition. Aldous Huxley in that book, Perennial Philosophy, he says about this non-duality, that identity of the individual and the cosmic, the absolute. He says, it is presented to us as if it's a development of thought. from dualism to non-dualism, from ritualism to spirituality. If you see the Vedas, they're like a development of thought like that. Upanishads come at the end. But he says something very interesting, and I agree with him. He says, I am quite convinced that this truth, the core truth, you are that. This was there even in the Stone Age. This was there with the most primitive civilizations long before our civilization came. It has always been there with humanity. Maybe they did not have your fancy philosophy and all that, but the core spiritual realities, they have always been spiritually enlightened masters in every civilization and every age of humanity. Every time, always there have been. So believe in it. They are telling us this is true. And we will see for ourselves. So until we do, Shraddhasvatata Shraddhasva. My child, have faith in this. Have faith in this. Just take it to be true. Take it to be true and live like that. Your realization, your enlightenment will come much faster. Very soon you will not have to take it for granted. You will know for a fact that it is true. It's not a question of belief anymore. You will see it is true. Until that time, to speed up progress, to take care of the problems and doubts and all that, just believe in it. Yes, I have believed in so much nonsense in my life. Let me believe in something good for a change. I take it on. Yes, take it on authority. Ashtavakra says so, Upanishad says so, Vivekananda says so, and great masters throughout history have said so. You are that. And then try to live accordingly. The Americans have a saying, fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. There was a popular book, I Am That. Nisargadatta Maharaj, who lived in Bombay, and he was an enlightened master, especially he taught this kind of non-dual philosophy. He originally taught in Marathi, later it was translated into English and other languages and published. But somebody asked him, how did you become enlightened? He said, my guru told me that you are Brahman. I believed him and I tried to live accordingly. See, that's not an easy thing at all. So much struggle is necessary. Because our whole tendency is to go back to our old limited self. He said, do not be confused on this. Moham, matra moham kurushva. Oh my child, do not be confused on this point. Do not be deluded on this point. Do not be shaken on this point. Even if the world appears, it appears to me I am this body and the world is separate from me. The fact is you are one. In the dream, suppose, in our dreams, we don't know we are dreaming. Somebody comes and tells us, this is not real. It's a dream and you are the dreamer. This whole thing is appearing in you, the dreamer. We'll think, what nonsense is he speaking? But when we wake up, who will be right? He or I? It seems to me that I am in a world separate from me. But when I wake up, I'll realize the entire world and the dreamer, that the person in the dream, they're all part of the mind of the dreamer. I was dreaming the whole thing. So even now, if it seems that it's a world of duality, plurality, separation, a material world in which, yes, there is mind and consciousness, but that's just a little thing. No. The fact is, and we will realize that fact soon enough, is that consciousness is foundational. And the whole universe, the experience of the universe is an experience. Experience means consciousness. I remember, I've quoted this often, Wittgenstein was a great philosopher. And he was here in Austria, in Vienna. He was initially a brilliant man. Initially, he thought he wanted to become an engineer. Then, at that time, aeroplanes had just been invented, so he wanted to become he said aeronaut, pilot or engineer making aeroplanes. Then he thought, but this requires engineering knowledge. And then he went to that and he realized engineering requires mathematics. So I should become a mathematician. Then he realized mathematics, behind mathematics is, what is a number? Philosophy. So he thought, maybe I'm a philosopher, I should be a philosopher. And he found out who is the leading philosopher in this philosophy of mathematics. And somebody said Bertrand Russell in England, in Cambridge University. So he goes, and the next part of the story is from Bertrand Russell. A strange German came to me, and he said to me that I'm wondering whether I should be an aeronaut or a philosopher. And I said to him, why don't you write something in philosophically and show it to me? So he went back and he brought a essay written by him. I read the first line, and I said, you should not become an aeronaut. You should be a philosopher. So that was Wittgenstein. And of course, he became a very great, some people consider him the greatest philosopher of the 20th century ever. Now, I'm telling you a little known story about him, which shows the nature of his mind. One day he's coming out of the class in Cambridge University, and this lady who was his student has written this down, the memoirs. Says that Professor Wittgenstein looked at the setting sun and he said, why did ancient people, why did they think that the sun goes around the earth? Instead of the earth rotating, why did they think that the sun is rising and sun is setting, the sun is going around the earth? And I said, because, Professor, that's what it seems like. It looks like that. And then he said, aha, but if it were not the case, if it were the case that the sun does not go around the earth, it's the earth which is rotating, if it were, which is true, how would it look? It would look just like this. If it is true that you are Brahman, limitless consciousness, how would you experience the world? Just like this. Just like this. Now, he sums up the whole teaching in the next line. Jnana swarupo bhagavan atma tvam prakrite paraha. This is what is called identity statement, Mahavakya. Akhandartha bodhakam vakyam, the sentence which teaches one indivisible reality. The way it is said, let me break it up. Bhagavan, God, creator, preserver, destroyer of the universe. In our example, the ocean. Atma, the self, you. In our example, the wave. And what is he saying here? You are the same. The ocean and the wave are the same. But we'll say it's not true. The wave is such a tiny little thing. The ocean is the whole, vast, including the wave also. How can they be the same? It's like saying, ocean and wave are same. Oh, water. If you see yourself as a wave, you will see the ocean is so big and there are so many other waves. And I have a beginning and I have an end and I am changing. But if you see yourself as water, you will see all this wave is I alone am this wave and that wave and all the other waves. In fact, I alone am the entire ocean. And if there are no waves, I still exist. If there is no ocean, I become water vapor. Global warming. I still exist. I am still the same. I am water. So that identity has to be shifted. I'll tell you the story of the wave. I love this example. So in the ocean out there, in the Atlantic Ocean, a wave is born and it rises up in the ocean. It's a little wave. So it is sent to kindergarten. It's a German word, kindergarten, but it's all over the world now. So it's sent to wave kindergarten, and it makes friends. The other little waves are there. Now some little waves are friends. Some little waves are mean to it. He has a problem with those other little waves, and so the wave grows, and then it looks around. My God, look at that wave. It's so great. I'll never be like that. Oh. Inferiority, feels inferiority complex. And that other wave is just bubble, Nothing. It's a loser. I am so much greater than it. Superiority complex, contempt for somebody, or fear or intimidated by some other person, and then like some of them, dislike some of them. So the wave samsara starts. And it's going along like this. All other waves are like that. And see something in the distance. What is that? Says, oh, that is the coastline, France. What's happening there? Oh, all the waves are dying. What? Yes, the waves go Atlantic Ocean, they go and crash against the coastline and then they die. So I am also going to die. Yes. Very soon, you'll go there. Oh my God, well, that's what happens. That's the life of a wave. You're born, you play around, and you come to the shore and you dash against the shore, you burst into millions of droplets, and that's the end. Oh my God, this is very bad. What will happen now? Then a Vedantic wave comes along and says, it is true that waves die. Waves are born and they change and they grow and then they die. But there is something which does not die. What is that? Water. Water is not born, water does not change, and water does not die also. It just changes its form. Oh, really? That's very nice. But then what is it to me? I am a wave. No, your reality is water. You are actually water. And as water, you don't die. You are not born and you don't die also. You are immortal. Really? Where is that water? You see deep within yourself, search deeper and deeper at your center, you will find there is your water. And in front of you there is water, behind you there is water, above you there is water, below you there is water. And then it begins to realize, yes, I am beginning to see what you mean by water. Very difficult for a wave to understand what is water, because it's only water all around. One philosopher, Garfield, he's a teacher of Madhyamaka Buddhism, he said, fish are the wrong people to ask about water. We are the wrong people to ask about consciousness, because that's all we are actually. Anyway, so it begins to understand what is water. And not only that, he says that the Vedantic wave says to him that, notice, what is the difference between you and the other wave? And I am a wave, that one is another wave. But where is the gap? The gap is also water. If you are water here, you're water there, you're water there. It's the same water. Oh, I and that wave are same. Yes. Big wave and small wave are same. Yes. Bubble and foam and all are same. Yes. And water vapor in the sky is same. Yes. We are all one. I am the ocean. Yes. And you are greater than the ocean also. If you are one day you are not the ocean, you go up as water vapor in the sky, rise by evaporation, you will still be water. Ocean will go away, but you will still remain. Ah, this is wonderful. Similarly, like this, we are taught, Jnana Swarupo Bhagavan Atma. The cosmos is one consciousness with Maya, which produces, sustains and destroys this cosmos. The definition of God in Vedanta. Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya Karta. And there is another, the individual, you and I, small little waves. But we are the same consciousness. With one body and one mind, we are this person, you are that person, and that person. But we are the same consciousness. We yesterday discussed the concept of upadhi, the orange cloth near the glass and you see it looks orange. So the one colorless consciousness, the transparent consciousness, crystal-like, shining. When the body-mind comes near me, I say I am this person, this guy. When Maya comes near me, I am God. But it's the same consciousness. Now you see, Bhagavan Atma. Bhagavan is God. Atma is the self. But both are Jnana Swarupa. Ocean, wave. But both are water. As water. Now one more clarification here. Examples are useful, but they can be misleading also. The misleading part of the example is, you might still think, yes, but in the wave, less water. In the ocean, more water is there. In me, less Brahman. In God, more Brahman is there. No less and more. The examples are imperfect. You can't do anything more than that. You and Brahman, you and God are exactly the same, not just same type. You are literally identically the same one limitless consciousness. There's no more or less in limitless. So, Jnana Swarupo Bhagavan Atma. When we investigate ourselves, we will find pure consciousness. And that pure consciousness with Maya is Bhagavan. So how do you start? Tvam Prakrite Paraha. You transcend Prakriti. This is a clue. You start working on what you are first. What is Prakriti? What is nature? Body is nature. Mind is nature. All that investigation which we did. I am not the body. The body is not mine. Whose is it? It is Prakriti's, nature. It is God's, whoever you call it. If you are atheistic, don't believe in God, all right, material nature has produced it. Three ways of regarding this world and the body. One is, it is nature. It is a material nature. I am the witness consciousness. That is one way of looking. That is Sankhyan way of looking at it. Or it is all a product of God. God is the creator. That's the devotee's way. The dualistic Vedanta schools look up at that. There is the Lord who produces the world. I am a little sentient being, devotee of the Lord. So the entire universe, including body and mind, all are creations of the Lord, a product of Maya, Maya Shakti. Second way of looking at the world. A third way, it is my own appearance. Brahman alone appears as this world. It is nothing but Brahman. I alone am all of this. All three are same. What is this world? What is this body? Even the mind. One, Brahma Swarupam. It is Brahman alone, really speaking. That's too much? Alright, it's a product of Maya. Or, even that I don't believe in that sort of stuff. Alright, it's a product of nature. All three will work. In all three cases, you are not the body. You are not the mind. You are free of it. While getting use of the body-mind. Remember, Uber. You have hired it. It's been given to you for a while. Okay.